Good evening. There was an incident here in New Haven, Connecticut, which you might have heard about because it was viral on all the news outlets. A desecration of our menorah downtown on the green. Lots of folks came from all different backgrounds, Muslim, different churches, heads of state, senators, the mayor was there. Everybody kind of came together to say no hate, right? But I'm not so interested in what happened or how it happened or who was there or who spoke or what the little tumult was. I'm more interested in the emotional context behind what happened. So this is what I noticed, and this was what I thought after being there, is that we're constantly told to control ourselves, control our behavior, control our emotions in public spaces, control yourself, right? That's what we're told as children. Hold your tongue, wait a minute, it's not your turn now, you know. I can even see my face getting angry when I say that. Yeah, I guess I say the same things, right? Just wait a minute. You know, the kids are at a higher energy, they're always rushing us, right? So we're taught to control ourselves, or even as adults, we think that maybe like, I have to control myself in adult situations, social situations, and work situations, or whatever that may be. But I'd like to shift that focus and make it being present, right? Because today there was some stuff that went on, there was some tumult, let's say some tsuris, to use a Yiddish word. There was some stuff that went on, but I was simply present. And I watched what was going on. I realized that I wasn't reactive. I was just in space. I was present. So today when I'm talking to you after a bath. I needed bath with bath salts to detox that experience. But I was processing the emotions. I might not have been processing them in the present tense, but I had my eyes open and I was witnessing the scene. So I wasn't controlling myself. I was just deep breathing and I was witnessing what was going on. I held space for others. There were definitely different things said. Some of it I loved, some of it didn't make sense to me, but I just held space. And in my next video, I will talk about valuing the folks around us. So even if they're not like us, even if they have different opinions or different thoughts, everyone has value, right? So we all have to be curious and inquisitive and find out what that value is, even if the negative experience with that person draws out something more positive. So processing the emotions in the present tense, I was just present, eyes open, mouth lightly shut, more meditative breathing and witnessing what was going on. I held space for others and I was non-reactive. I just allowed what was going on around to be going on around and I witnessed it. So it is being present, transparent, right? Probably could read on my face whether I was a fan of what was going on or not. I was just myself in breathing, in space, in community with the other people that I knew, some of which I didn't, and had some great conversations with some very smart folks afterwards. So present, transparent, and then processing, some of which was processed in the present tense and some of which was processed later. So what I took out of it was controlling, we don't try to control ourselves. I wasn't even thinking of it. I just afterwards realized like, oh, I wasn't trying to control myself in an adult space. I wasn't trying to be performative at all. That's another really good word. Controlling or performative. I was just present. I was present with what went on. So being present, being transparent, I was myself. I didn't hide my feelings. I didn't get reactive or upset with anybody, but I was my full self. And then I processed it later for myself at home with a bath. And also while I was in space, talking with other people and visually processing it, as well as really taking those moments and kind of seeing what was going on. Where were people in space? Different people were being interviewed by certain television folks. Other folks were talking to one another. Some people were addressing the tsuris that kind of popped off at one point. But there were lots of things going on and it gave me a moment to witness it, process the emotions, hold space for people that I don't necessarily agree with on certain points. Some of it I did. I would say most of it I did. And then to be non-reactive, because what would that have helped? it doesn't help anybody. So to hold space, create space, and find value in one another, I just think that we can get away from these old school thoughts of trying to control ourselves. You should control yourself. And just really be ourselves and be transparent and be loving and open and human, and hopefully learn to understand one another a little more, create space, hold space in community. I leave you with that. Thank you so much.